Hey guys, welcome back. It's Mshindi here, your host. Today we'll just be going to do a recap of our last two matches in the Premier League, which were against Crystal Palace and Liverpool. Now let's go straight and discuss Crystal Palace. Crystal Palace definitely was a good game. We won the game 1-0, courtesy of Kai Havertz goal. I can say actually that game we played particularly very well. When you look, the defense was actually solid. Badia Shield made his debut in that game, like full debut. See his debut, like starting lineup, and that guy was really solid. And also we saw Conor Gallagher was playing at the number 8 position, and Ziyech finally was called because now he's actually impressed. Ziyech was in the lineup, right wing, Havertz at the front. At the left, it was who? I actually think Mount. Then the midfield was Georgie. This guy, Georgie, and Gallagher, somebody else, and also the back, Hall, Badia Shield, Thiago, and Chaloba. And of course, keeper was Kepa Arrizabalaga. We straight on we go and discuss about how each player played individually. Kepa Arrizabalaga was actually good in between the sticks. He was actually this guy now is trying now to impress me. He's really now matured. Is actually can say Kepa has now really he has now finally gotten his composure, confidence to play passes from the back, and actually can see how great he was. No blunders. He wasn't performing any blunders. He was passing the ball very well from the back, building play. Thiago Silva clearing the ball, passing if it was a long ball, hitting it from direct, maybe to Ziyech, pinpointing Conor Gallagher, maybe Lewis Hall, Havertz. Yeah, and he made some really decent saves. Now I think his athleticism is coming to prove more and more, and his positioning, his reflexes are on point right now. And actually now I'm seeing a very confident goalkeeper, and I would like Chelsea to keep him. And maybe if I were the director, I would give him a new contract, but not long term. This guy was given a 5-year contract. Maybe I will give him a 2 or 3 year contract, or maybe 4, depending on how. But his form now is really well. He's kept a clean sheet, and that's very good. Let's go to our back line. Chaloba particularly is trying. I can't lie. He's a center back, but playing in the right back, and he's been used to playing when he was at Stade Rennais, he was playing at the CDM back when he was at loan in France. And this guy is actually trying. This is not his natural position. He's never played in that position ever. So I think this time, because of the injury crisis, he's playing in the fullback. And actually like him, he was trying, making tackles, passing, some few passes there. You see him also advancing to go and maybe score, provide a good cross. Yeah, he was decent. Maybe I can give him a 6. Kepa, I'll give him a 7, an 8, because his saves up quite well. And so now this one, bonkers. Oh, Thiago Silva. Oh, Thiago Silva. This guy is the best defender in the Prem right now. No defender can actually say that he is better than Thiago Silva. Thiago Silva is now our rock. It's very solid. I don't know, even Van Dijk is quite overrated. That Licha, I don't know, Gabriel Saliba, can't compare with Thiago Silva. He's the oldest player in the Prem, and actually is proving people wrong. That's why we signed him. And this guy he's passing, his clearances are always meticulous. His clearances are beautiful, and he just plays well. He also, the long balls, his long balls are perfect, pinpoint. Like when you see when Chelsea goes in high line, he may provide a long ball, maybe to cross the wing and goes to the left wing. Mason Mount pinpoints to Ziyech or Havertz at the center forward. Nice, and that guy, solid 7. Badiashile. This tall lad doesn't have many words to say. He's a tall lad, he's very composed for 21. And actually bringing just like from Monaco 35 million bargain. This guy is like another Thiago Silva. If we keep on if we keep this Badiashile in the lineup, is actually very good with Thiago Silva, because Koulibaly is shaky. Now Thiago Silva needs a partner who is solid, like the way Thiago Silva had a partnership with Rudiger. Very solid, a composed person who can pass, person who can drive the ball. Now, finally, we have found that thing in Benoit Badiashile. And also comment on Jorginho. Jorginho, of course. Oh no, sorry. Lewisol is perfect. For an 18-year-old straight from Cobham, is actually good. And I really like his progressive, like Ben Chilwell. Is the way he progresses to go and attack. I think there was another chance. There was a cross and he hit it with his left foot. Vincent Goita saved it. And so this guy is one to look for. Learn to look for in the future, because actually he can play in the 3 Lions left back position. Also have to comment Jorginho. I'll give him a 6.5. Jorginho, very good, Jorginho. Jorginho, yes, he struggles. Jorginho is not that strong center defensive midfielder you can't compare him with Rodri, you can't compare him with Casemiro, you can't compare him with Thomas Partey, you can't compare him with Fabinho. He's just frail, he's not that strong sort of CDM, but I really like his passes. His passes are key point, and also he likes to relieve pressure. When the defense is put on pressure, you can see Jorginho tracking back. His passes are really clean, and he decompresses the pressure has been asserted by the opponent's striker. They've come and asserted pressure. Jorginho tracks back, picks passes, opens, makes the game free. Now you can see now the movements in the forward, and I really like it. Okay, he was perfect in that game, but now you see he has contract situations. I think renewing of his contract, and and this I don't want him to get like a contract renewal, like a big one, maybe a 1 year or 2 years maybe, because he's old, he's 31, and he can't serve us for that long. Let's go. We have this guy called Conor Gallagher. Conor Gallagher is a good number 8. We have found a good number 8 in our team. This guy drives the ball. He's a good driver. I can say he's like Kovacic, like that, and but it wasn't that. I can say give him a 6. Jorginho could give him a 6 as well. Mr. Mount. Mr. Mount was nowhere to be seen. Mr. Mount is right now. Mr. Mount is going in the worst time or the worst form of his life, or can say his entire Chelsea career. Now we can see that Mr. Mount was bagging goals. Mr. Mount now needs to just, it's this time where if I was a coach, I would take Mason Mount, tell him, Mason, you're no longer in form. It's time you to go for a retreat, by your own and by your coaches. Go and develop yourself. Put yourself in the right mentality, because your mentality is off, and you have to get your composure back, your confidence, because right now when you're playing, it is no longer you are playing just off, and if you don't watch out, your position will be taken by a few guys in the lineup and in the squad, and that's not good. And actually, just like the way Eric Ten Hag did to Jadon Sancho, taking him and his coaches to somewhere and maybe improves himself as a person, his confidence, and gains back his form, I think Mason Mount also should do a retreat. That game would give him a 4. Also this Ziyech. Ziyech is just, for his age, he's old, he's 29, so you can't say much about him, but the way he impressed from the World Cup and the way he's still in banging form, and he provided an assist in that game. Oh my god, this guy just goes from shifts, goes in his left foot, whips a beautiful cross, wonderful. And just like that one he whipped for Havertz. Oh my god. From the left, like, Havertz just had to do one thing. Hit it with his head. Perfect. Done. Ziyech assist. Ziyech right now, I think Ziyech, Ziyech performs when he wants. Now we are seeing the Ziyech we really bought from Ajax, and he's really doing that. And he also has contract situations, and he may not extend a contract at Chelsea. So if I was the director, I would confront Ziyech and tell him to stay, because he's a wonderful player, and we have seen now the best out of him, and we'll want him to stay so that we can be able to squad depth, because we brought in Noni Madueke. They can be alternating. So let's go to our front man, Kai Havertz. Kai Havertz is not that good, but I can say now he's carrying us. He's literally carrying us together with Thiago Silva and Kepa. He's solid. I can say his build-up game is okay. He tracks back most of the time, but he doesn't track back most of the time, unless maybe he's like in the Fulham, he was tracking back. Now this guy is a tall lad, so Kai Havertz, and he's quite strong, so you just need him to pin him. He's always roaming around in the 6-yard box, just so deliver a good cross, and this guy will actually deliver header. Right now he has scored. He's our top scorer in across all competitions. Is 5 goals. That's quite alarming, because there's no way our top scorer across all competitions can have 5 goals. Whereas you see things like Manchester City, Haaland has 30 goals so far, and the season is not over. And Rashford, I don't know, 15 or almost 20. You can see Arsenal, I think, in Ketia with 9. Harry Kane, of course, don't know, 20-something or 20-something goals. You see, among the big 6, you see, I think Liverpool, I'm not sure. I think maybe it's Salah, maybe 10 or 15 there. They don't reach 15, maybe 10. But you can see for top 6 club, we are lagging behind, and we need to find a talisman to be able to take us to the top and bring success to our club. So that's how the lineup went. Also for the substitutes, Kokorea was great as he played in that game. It was his 499th game as a Chelsea player, and he came out quite well. Aubameyang, so he was chasing. Yeah. Aubameyang really came with that force. Of course, Chukwuemeka is a brilliant player to look for in the future. He's only 19, and yeah, they are all good. And I have to say, now because we had a clean sheet and we are solid, the top 4 is coming. Liverpool, Manchester City, not Liverpool, Arsenal, not even Arsenal, Manchester United, Newcastle, Brighton. This other team called Bottleham. Watch out, we are coming. Top 4, we are going to Europe, and that's no rumor, that's a fact. So guys, thank you for listening to me. Tune in for our next video. I'm going to talk about Liverpool, and yeah, up the Chills, up the Blues, yay.